Thought I'd seen it all before. A world of trouble knocking at my door. But this ain't like nothing that I recall.
Welcome to In Crisis, Travel Retail Voices. This is our new podcast series where we speak to travel retail executives all around the world to see how they and their businesses are coping with the COVID-19 crisis. Today's episode features the soft Scottish tones of Stewart Dryburgh, General Manager of Nestlé International Travel Retail, a giant of the travel retail confectionery business. Stewart's been around the travel retail industry for many years. In fact, he was one of the driving forces with me in creating the first Trinity Forum way back in 2003. Seems a lifetime ago now, doesn't it? He's also the man who famously issued a challenge last year. I'll just do that again, Declan. He's also the man who famously issued a challenge last year for confectionery and fine food to become a US $10 billion travel retail category in the next 10 years, a doubling of sales. Well, Stewart, like us, oh bugger, do that one again. He's also the man who famously, and again. He's also the man who famously issued a challenge last year for confectionery and fine food to become a $10 billion US travel retail category in the next 10 years, a doubling of sales. Well, Stewart, like all of us, is facing a very different kind of challenge now. I caught up with him by phone this weekend in Vevey, Switzerland. Tell us how this crisis has affected your day-to-day life, your work life, your personal life, and what's happening there in beautiful Switzerland.
Lots of things are changing, that's for sure. The sun's shining, that's the first thing to share, Martin. The weather's really, really nice right now, which is making it difficult for everyone to stay inside. Of course, the government wants everyone to be isolating and so on. As I mentioned to you before we started, the government today has made this call to arms to the population to respect these things because they're concerned that the nice weather is going to start dragging people outside, which is the one thing we can't afford to have right now. But we've been in a lockdown now for 3 weeks, which has been reasonably well respected by the population in Switzerland. We're all kind of follow the politicians sort of mode. But working from home makes life a very different rhythm. For those of us who are then at lunch with wife and kids instead of being in the office with your colleagues, it puts a different slant on your day, that's for sure. It's a complete change of behaviours, change of habits, and the things that we normally do during the day are kind of thrown into question. How much do we need to be doing all the things? I'm a social animal and I miss seeing my colleagues, that's for sure. I've been using Skype and FaceTime type technologies to keep the contact up. But on the one hand, you miss the physical contact with your colleagues. On the other hand, you can be more efficient, of course, because you're not getting interrupted by other little things. So I think coming out of it is the big question, how much this will change people's behaviours. Because I'm sure we all see these charts that are showing how the pollution levels are down across so many countries because people aren't driving their cars to work. And there's more fish in the rivers and all these kind of positive things. So I think it will provoke a lot of questions as to how we all behave and act going forward.
How do you feel looking forward at a global travel market in terms of its ability to recover from this? You've seen quite a few crises in your time because you've been in travel retail over many years. This is obviously of a dimension that really dwarfs any other. How long do you think the travel market itself, our parent industry, will take to recover on a global scale? Or is it going to be very much kind of country by country, region by region?
That's a fantastic question, Martin. I think the thing that concerns me about the nature of the crisis is individually, countries can get their house in order. And China's the canary in the coal mine for all of this, if you pardon the expression, because they've been there first. And they've gotten on top of it. If you believe all the numbers, and no reason not to, they've gotten on top of it. And we've got colleagues, Nestlé's got a huge business in China. We've got colleagues there, one of our own teams based in Beijing. You see them lifting the restrictions on travel gradually now and such like. But as soon as they lifted the restrictions on flights, they had a wave of incoming cases and they slapped down the restrictions again.
That's right.
In terms of the flight. Now, so the global travel market will only be as strong as its weakest link. So individually, here in Switzerland, we might get on top of this, and I hope we do in the next few weeks. But at what point do we open up the borders to everybody else coming in, when country X may well still have a problem? And I think that's why the intangible aspect of this is not, well, we've got our act together now, and, okay, we've calmed it down here. But is it calm in country Y, not naming anyone in particular, or country U? And if it's not calm there, well, would you want people flying in? No. So I think the longevity of this is going to be drawn out by the weakest link in the chain. And we need everybody to get on top of it first. And that's the difference between this and SARS. I was in the industry first time when SARS was kicking around. And of course, because it was regionally constrained and everybody did a good job of getting on top of it, fortuitously, we know how painful it was for everybody in the region. Sunil talked about it well on your other podcast. But we did get on top of it. Now it's just pandemic so many countries. I have a concern that it could impact 2021. I really hope it doesn't, and I hope the world does get on top of it. But I do have a concern that it could impact 21.
Yeah, you make a very interesting point about perhaps who will be allowed into individual countries. Now, historically, we've had that kind of selectivity via visa systems. Some people are allowed into some countries without a visa, some require a visa. It almost could become that an individual country could say, you have to have your health visa, your COVID-19 visa, and that may be not a matter of an individual visa, but a nationality visa. In other words, we will allow nationality X in, but we won't allow nationality Y in.
Correct. That's what I see coming down the tracks very quickly, because it's what China's already starting to do in terms of, it was also what the Americans did to start with, if you remember, when they started putting the ban on the flights from China, first of all, and then Europe and some other countries. You ban travel from certain directions. And it will be the inevitable end game of this is, when does everybody feel comfortable to let nationality Z back into your country if you know that they've got a COVID problem still kicking around? This is, for me, the weakest aspect of this. It's not who the strongest country is and they're all happy to go out. You won't want to go where the problems are, and you won't want the problems coming in. So it's a global issue that really needed global coordination on everyone feeling comfortable about it.
Yeah. Well, just to close, Stewart, you're a great globetrotter yourself, and suddenly you're confined to your own home with your family, obviously enjoying parts of that as well, like all of us are, and actually getting some benefits from a slightly slower life and with our loved ones. But do you develop a bit of cabin fever from time to time?
Yes. Can I be definitive on that?
Yes.
I find it very odd not going through airports, catching up with my team in the markets. I like being out. I like, those of us who have been, in the industry of a period of time, and those of us who have been in international jobs, we're spoilt and lucky in that we live the experience of the global village that this is. And it feels very odd just being stuck in Switzerland. Much as I'm loving being at lunch and dinner every day with my wife and the boys, I'm hankering after getting on a plane and looking at some stores and meeting colleagues, meeting customers. And I think that's probably the bit I'm finding hardest right now. There's a bit of miss of that contact. So looking forward to getting together with everyone as soon as we can all make that happen. Trinity Forum sooner rather than later, hopefully, but only when it's healthy and safety to do so, of course.
Well, we hope so too, Stuart. Like you, I suppose I can't wait to go through another airport security check again. And
actually, I look forward to it next time, but it was always such an inconvenience. Now I look forward to it.
That's right. Well, the key thing, of course, as I say on all these calls, Stuart, is that it's nice to hear you well and in good mood and in good strength and safe and well. That is all that matters at the end of the day. So you stay that way, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, thanks again to you, Dermot, and the team for all the work that you're doing. And best wishes to everybody in the industry, customers, suppliers, everybody involved. Please look after yourselves, and hopefully see you all soon.
That's good, Stuart. All right, you take good care, and we'll speak soon.
Thanks, Martin.
I'm Martin Moody with In Crisis, Travel Retail Voices.
And I swear one day we're gonna put this out behind us, and come what may, we will survive. I think it's safe to say that better times are gonna find us. Hope it won't be long till this trouble is gone.